Hi, my name is Jacob Woodward, and I'll be covering the topic of the anti-vaccine culture war. Now, in my personal opinion, I think vaccination can go 50-50 on either way, depending on religious beliefs or maybe research you've done on your own. But to me, the information mainly leads to getting vaccinated. And then the one thing that baffles me, especially working at the hospital and even talking with patients about the COVID vaccine, is a lot of people don't understand that usually vaccinations is not necessarily supposed to prevent you from getting that virus, but lessening the symptoms that usually do you in when you get that virus. So they won't necessarily stop it, but they could definitely help it not be as bad as it was if you weren't vaccinated. But reading over this, The Vaccine Culture War in America, the Are You Ready? By Barbara Loe Fisher, it talks more about in the beginning of the people, 1.2 million people in the United States are infected with HIV, but there's necessarily no ban on HIV infected children or adults from attending schools. So, if you were infected with this, but then again, HIV is a bloodborne pathogen, so unless you're becoming blood brothers with someone or having sexual intercourse, then yeah. But it is probably mostly not reported. It's usually kept pretty discreet. And then it goes on about no discrimination and sanctions against these infected citizens and live polio vaccines and measles shots, especially like the MMR shots that you would get for school, which I'm pretty sure most of all of us got, unless if you had a religious excuse, which I know a lot of religions do that, get exempt from like flu shots and stuff like that. But I'm trying to read more on this. That was the main thing that it went over at the beginning. And then it goes over this report, goes over different myths. So people who question vaccines are ignorant and do not understand science. I think everyone has the right to question the vaccines because everyone's different. No one's the same genetically or necessarily biologically. So everybody could have a different reaction to a vaccine. There are plenty of people who are allergic to flu vaccines and stuff like that, depending on what the vaccine's made of. So I could see there are certain reasons why someone shouldn't get vaccinated, but just not vaccinating because you saw a post on Facebook about how you shouldn't vaccinate your children. It's kind of bizarre to me, but to each their own at the end of the day. But I think the main thing to pull from this whole paragraph is you can definitely see by history that these vaccines do work, and they work very well because 40, 50 years